Right, okay, now I am pushing for issue number 52. This is genuinely probably what I have been waiting for more than anything else with these magazines. I make no secret that I have fallen in love with the Sylvaneth. I think they are beautiful and I am really loving them. But I'm going to get, straight to the point. It's this what I've been waiting for, okay? The Kharadron. Yeah, Kharadron Overlords. um, because I believe that this is the natural progression of the Durridin from the old world. If you were saying it's time for a tech upgrade, this is where they would have gone. Airships. The gyrocopter was a really big deal for me in Warhammer, but I always felt that it would be so much better if there were bigger floating. It was always kind of alluded to in some of the lore that you would come across dwarven airships. They knew how to build steam powered vessels, but of course the Kharadron have gone further and they're using aether gold to actually power their ships. So here they are, the Kharadron, and it's an Endrinmaster with dirigible suit. I think that's how you say it, dirigible suit. And he looks the part, doesn't he? He's floating around with his big tank on his back, and it's making him float upwards. He's got some impressive weaponry on him. There's no doubt about that. So he's definitely going to be able to do some damage there, isn't he? And, it's a shame that we're not going to get more Kharadron Overlords in this Stormbringer. It looks like it's definitely the smallest of the Order factions, which is a shame because I really love the idea of the Kharadron Overlords. I would have liked more. I would have quite happily sacrificed some Stormcasts in favour of that, but never mind. Okay, what do we actually see in here? So we've got, as I would expect, information about the Kharadron Overlords. I've often said with some of these, they have like models in them, or sometimes the image on the front, and then when you go into it, it doesn't tell you that much about the faction itself. So it's nice to see some proper Kharadron lore. And you've, a nice picture of Drekkie Flint, who's that guy there. Good little book to read, by the way. Archanaut's Oath, talking about their kind of their inventiveness, how they're using a bit of aether gold. And then we've got Story, Path of Glory. So looks like that's a standalone little story, that one. Some of them are multiple parts, some of them are just very standalone, short. Well, could you call it short story? But it is a little story. Yeah, and then we've got the information about your Endrinmaster with his dirigible. I have no idea. Dirigible suit. It's a very strange word, that. Let's have a look. Yeah, his job is to basically keep this thing, the big sky ship, flying around and floating. We have, obviously, his feats that he can engage in. We have, let's have a look what else we've got. Yeah, no, obviously we've got how to build. We expect a how to build by this point. We wouldn't be able to build it without it, or at least not easily. One thing that I'm looking at right here and now is, looks like it might be a bit fiddly to build. There's lots and lots of little parts. Positive note, there's actually quite a few options for this one as well. So there's lots of different tool options and weapon options. Is there? No, this is very strange. Hang on. No, wait, there's not options. He's just so tooled up, he's literally got them all attached to him. So I thought it was like you can choose one of three arms, and it's not. You put all three tools on there. His suit is just like this massive Swiss Army knife that's strapped to his back that he floats around on. I thought that was options, then it's not. It's just like you have to put all three on. You can probably, obviously decide which order to put them in, but that's neither here or there. Okay, it looks as well that in the paint scheme, so because we're using Baraknar Burgundy, one can only assume that the place that he's from is Baraknar. I'm going to have to think up my own colour scheme, although I do like the purple. I do actually like the kind of purple colour for the Kharadrons, and I don't think I have a purple army, so actually that might be something that I need to consider. Okay, what else have we got going on here? Yeah, a little bit of stuff about basing the model and things like that, and yeah, there's another thing. There's some sort of like, little reflecting back on making sure that you do the base. There was a very good issue previously, a painting issue, where it was full of great ideas for how to do a base, so that's something important to remember as well. If it's something that looks like it's flying, you may really want to be imaginative with the base and even like trying to infer that the person's up in the clouds maybe. Let's have a look. Endrinmaster and the details about how you use this thing, so let's have a look. Oh, cool. So he can fix skybat vessels during combat. That's really cool. Heal up to 3 wounds on a sky vessel during a single piece of combat. That's actually something that would be really useful in the middle of a battle. Now, it basically sort of shows you here, hey, there's a little sky vessel, and that's how the rule works. It's quite a small. I wonder if we're actually going to get... I know we get the one in Premium Kit 3. I don't think we get any other sky vessels, unfortunately. And again, I think having loads of sky vessels is just a really cool thing to have. An entire army just basically up in the clouds, and obviously fighting Sneech with their discs and things, they really sort of suit there. Okay, moving on to some order tactics, talking about the Archreverend and the Branch Witch and those kind of tactics. Forged in War, Valley of Fire is our battle plan number 2. Just reading that looks quite cool actually. Now, so this is where these battle plans are changing. Rather than basically saying this is what you play with, it is you can have 2 heroes, 4 troops. So that's where the big changes are coming in this set of issues. You're not simply being told what to fight with and then getting a few little options. You're choosing the entire force if you want to. Quite interesting little things about the battle as well, like the idea that it's got like stashes and things like that. So it is actually, it's quite how do I describe this? It's got an interesting issue, and the way that the battles are getting planned out now is different. Okay, let's have a look at this main guy. Now, I'm gonna, before I show you anything else, I'm so glad you get 3 of these, because the number of times that I wish I had a spare flying base for different purposes is amazing. You should use one of them to support him upwards, by the way, but that's the fact that there's some spare ones has made me quite happy. Right, have a look at this now. So, as you might guess, with a dwarf, the dwarf himself, or the Durden, is not that big. It's all the contraptions around him. Just look how many small pieces there are. I suspect that this is going to take me a lot longer to put together than I would hope normally, because there's so many little bits to do, so many small pieces to clean up. But it just sings Dwarven Artifice here. And it's more than that. If I kind of have a look at that body plan there, and if you think of something like the Leagues of Votann for Warhammer 40k, there's a lot of crossover in the feeling, and it's that kind of like tooled up dwarves who have moved forward in their technology levels. It's really interesting to see a model like this, because I think that in a lot of fantasy, when you come across anything dwarven, the general thing is that they've been kind of worn out. They're a dying race in a lot of things. They've frequently almost stopped progressing, preferring the past. The past is better. We don't invent new things because we've already invented everything that needs to be invented. So the thing about the Kharadron Overlords is they are Duradin, who have basically said, actually, we can progress. Now, they've lost certain things in that. They don't tend to use runecraft, so they don't tend to have many magical weapons per se. It's more technology being progressed. So that's quite an interesting little thing. So that's issue number 52, and it's got some really nice things in it. And we've got our first Kharadron Overlord, which I'm pleased about. So please like and subscribe, and I'll see you for my next video.